How do you stay healthy and maintain an optimal weight if you're constantly going out to dinner? Let's say you're a business person, you have to take out clients 2, 3, 4 times a week. You always find yourself in like a fancy restaurant overeating. How do you maintain an optimal weight when that's your lifestyle? See, I recently had a personal training client come to me about a year ago. He was a 46-year-old, like Wall Street finance guy, super successful guy. He came to my gym and said, Mike, I don't know what happened. I'm 20 pounds overweight. I feel like I just woke up and I'm 20 pounds overweight. And I'm known as being like a fit, thin, trim guy. I'm actually embarrassed to take off my jacket at work now, with how I look. I gotta do something. And I asked him, well, what are you doing? He tells me, no, Mike, I'm taking clients out 3, 4, 5 times a week in the city on main restaurants, the Gotham Bar and Grill. I said, I know the Gotham Bar and Grill. It's my wife's and my favorite restaurant to go in New York City. It's like one of those really traditional New York restaurants, incredible food, amazing cocktails. So I know the place. So I said to him, okay, give me an idea. When you go to Gotham Bar and Grill, exactly what do you do? What do you eat? Okay, the first thing he says to me, he said, we always first go to the bar. And I know the restaurant. I know they're known for these incredible cocktails. But most of their cocktails are the type of drinks where they're taking amazing fresh juice, like pomegranate juice or pineapple juice, and they mix it in some high-end vodka or gin. They may even add some sugar to it. So these are pretty sweet drinks. I said, well, what do you do? I typically have one drink like that. And then when we sit down, I may order another drink. I say, well, this is what you have to do. I said, let's first eliminate some sugar calories from your diet. It says, so instead of ordering one of these sweeter cocktails, order something straight. Order a high-end tequila. You like tequila? He said, no, I like tequila. I said, order a Patron. I don't know my tequilas. That's a relatively high-end tequila, Patron. Squeeze some lime in there, some fresh lime. Order 2 limes if you want, and just drink that. So if you have 2 drinks like that, you've already eliminated 200-300 calories, maybe even more, from the 2 sweet cocktails you normally would order, and you're not even going to tell the difference. You're going to enjoy it just as much. And he said, no, I can definitely do that. And then I said, okay, then what happens next? So, well, typically, you know the place, Mike. I said, yeah, I know the place. This restaurant is known for amazing rolls as well. You see these servers are always walking around this restaurant, holding up trays of these incredible rolls, like fresh pumpernickel, rye, sourdough, multi-grain. And they also have incredible fresh butter in this restaurant. He says, of course, Mike, I said, I always have at least 2 rolls, no matter what. He didn't think rolls were all that bad. See, rolls are pretty much just empty calories, carbohydrates. They're just sugar. It's almost like eating straight table sugar, these rolls. If it's a multi-grain roll, maybe you get a little bit of fiber. Even sourdough, on the glycemic index may not be quite as high, but still, they're pretty much empty calories. So I said, you know what? Enjoy your cocktail, pass on the rolls. If you were going to this restaurant like me and my wife would, once every 3, 4 months, I would say, eat whatever you want, but this is your life. You go into this restaurant 2, 3, 4 times a week, and restaurants just like it. You really have to eliminate empty calories. So you're already doing good with the drink, pass on the rolls. And then I asked, okay, what do you typically order as an appetizer and dinner? Okay, he said, well, typically for an appetizer, I love pasta. I order just a light. He thought the pasta was fine. I order maybe a half order, a pasta or whatever pasta appetizer they might have. And then for dinner, I do like steak. I love red meat. I said, they have these incredible aged steak. They were fortunate at this restaurant. Me and my wife split one last time we went. Last time we were there, maybe over 2 years ago before the pandemic. We split this big, tremendous steak. It's aged steak, incredible. But this steak comes with, other things. He would order potatoes with it or mashed. I said, okay, if you're gonna have the steak, which is fine, but do it with vegetables. Okay, this is what I wanted him to do. I said, this is what I said to him, think like this. Always think double protein, reduce the carbs. Do that. You want to eliminate those sugary, empty calories. Double protein, don't worry about the fat too much, because in my opinion, see, if you're eating protein, it's okay to take in fat. What you don't want to do, and this is what's going to put the weight on, is you don't want to eat a high amount of carbohydrates with a high amount of fat. Like you don't want to have rolls with a lot of butter. You don't want to have like baked potatoes or mashed potatoes with like cheese, gravy, and butter. That's what's going to put on the weight, right? You want to minimize that insulin spike. So make your dinners in this restaurant more protein based. So when it comes to your appetizer, instead of getting the pasta, you know, I know the menu there a little bit, but whoever, you know, if you're watching this, you know, to learn, just pick protein. Pick like a shrimp cocktail. Pick like a tuna tartare, like raw tuna. Pick like, you know, oysters or raw clams. Go with protein. Minimize the carbohydrates. And he said, no, I love those things. I said, do that. That's going to make a tremendous difference. You also eliminated from the pasta a whole bunch of empty calories. And then when it comes to dinner, if you want to have the steak, don't do like a high fat carb combo. Order like string beans. Get some vegetables. So you can do a protein with vegetables. Do that as your main course. You're going to be so much better. He said, no, I can do this. He said, I can do it. I'm with you. He said he was with me. And then this is the other big challenge when it comes to dessert. He said, do this. See, typically when it comes to drinking, maybe they would order a bottle of wine. He said, sometimes we'd order a bottle of wine. He said, but I said, you know, try to take it easy with that. Don't overdo it. But sometimes he really liked the cocktail. He said, I'd rather you just sip your tequila, your second tequila, and stick with that instead of even going with the wine. But then when it comes to after dinner, instead of having like a sweet dessert, because also the desserts in these restaurants are like mind-blowing. You know, this desserts are incredible. This is what I want you to do. If you want to order like a port, order like a port to drink, and then just get a little bit of hard cheese. Go with the hard cheeses. I'm sure you're going to share them with everyone else at the table. Have a little piece of hard cheese. You know, avoid those sugary carbohydrates and enjoy a port. I said, you probably, from making these changes, first of all, you're going to dramatically reduce the amount of calories in your meal. You may have eliminated 7, 8, who knows how much butter and who knows how much cheese stuff they're putting in mashed potatoes. You may eliminate even 1,000 calories, you know, from a meal like that. Plus, you're minimizing the spike in insulin. You're sticking it to mostly protein. And what I talk about, and I would explain to him, like I talk about in my other videos, that protein has the highest thermic effect out of all your macronutrients. He didn't even know what I was talking about, what I mean by thermic effect means that your body is going to heat up. Your body's going to burn calories digesting and processing the protein up to 30%. So for example, if he had, say he had a shrimp cocktail, couple hundred calories. Let's say you had a monster steak, a tremendous steak, say a 16-ounce steak, which is, let's say that steak is 700, 800 calories, okay? He's gonna burn up 30% of the calories from the steak and from the shrimp cocktail, just digesting and processing it. But before, if he was ordering pasta, see, pasta doesn't have a high thermic effect. You're gonna get all those calories. Right? So just double up on your protein if you're the type of person that's constantly going to restaurants. I don't want to ruin your meal. Like if you're like me and my wife who occasionally go to a great restaurant or occasionally eat out, you know, we cook at home every night, order whatever you want. But if you're the type of person that it's your business, it's your life, then you're eating out 3, 4, 5 times a week, cut back on the carbs, increase the protein, and don't have sweet drinks. You're going to do so much better. Another thing you may want to try, and I started doing this with him later on down the road. See, this is like 6 months into it. He lost about 10 pounds, started feeling good, but he felt like he hit a little bit of a plateau. So I said, if you want to lose these last 10 pounds, start doing this. I want you to start fooling around with intermittent fasting, especially on the days when you're going out for these business dinners. So for example, I want you to eat a light breakfast. You know, maybe have like 2 hard-boiled eggs, something like that for breakfast, maybe half an avocado. I want you to skip lunch. You know, you're a busy guy, drink some black coffee, and then take in all your calories. Almost do like an OMAD day, or 1 meal a day, taking all your calories just for that dinner. So if you're going out 3 times that week, really cut back on the amount of calories and the amount of meals you're eating during that day and make your night out your main meal. And he started doing that. And I have to say, the next 10 pounds came right off. Now he's back down to his goal weight. And he likes the intermittent fasting. You know, I love it too. Now, if you want to learn more about intermittent fasting, I got a great video on the OMAD diet, the 1 meal a day diet. Check out this video. I think you're going to find it really helpful.